Hello, it's Philly here from Chris and Philly Functional Medicine. I am here to help you end your body burnout, especially those of you who are high achievers, go-getters, do type patterns. And also for our parents out there juggling all of that plus children. It's a tough gig. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about exercise because, being the start of January, a lot of people have probably made some New Year's resolutions, and I actually did a little bit of Google searching and found that there is a high amount, it was over 50 or maybe even 70% of people when they're making New Year's resolutions are making resolutions around health goals and in particular fitness goals. And so I've actually personally seen that too. So Chris and I used to own a couple of fitness businesses probably for 10 or 15 years in the past. And we would always have a little chuckle, the influx of inquiries that would come at the start of the year when everyone's hyped up around getting fit and healthy and losing weight and getting stronger. So I felt also because of our background of being in the fitness industry where we saw a lot of people unhealthily exercising and causing a lot of body system burnout in the process. I just felt a strong desire to talk about exercise today with a little bit of a word of warning. So if you have a goal that you want to get nice and fit and healthy, before you rush to a gym or, start training for a half marathon or whatever your goal is, I want to talk about some body system issues that can result in body burnout symptoms like energy, mood, weight gain, gut issues, other inflammatory issues. So if you're displaying any of those, then you want to really think about what you're about to do with exercise, or if you've currently been exercising for a long time and you've kind of secretly been thinking, maybe exercise isn't, or this type of exercise isn't the best thing for me to be doing right now, then I feel you're going to get a lot of insights out of this video. Okay, so I want to talk specifically about some key body systems that can break down, which can then lead to body burnout symptoms, which can also become a biggie issue if you're using exercise in inappropriate ways. Now that could be on the one extreme, just sedentary living. We know that exercise is a healthy foundation for our health and for healing. So if you're on that camp, then, get moving, whether that's just a daily walk or a swim or whatever it is, awesome. On the other extreme, a lot of people are over exercising or, thrashing their body trying to lose weight or get fit or get healthy. And if you've got some body system imbalances, then exercise can be too much of a stress for you and can cause further damage. So I want to go over some of these body systems. And what I really love about what we do in functional medicine is that it's not guesswork. As I'm going through this video, you might be oh yeah, I might have mitochondria issues, or oh yeah, I might have adrenal fatigue. Oh yeah, I might have leaky gut. Oh, maybe I should stop exercising. We don't really know. So what I love is when we have a new client, they go through our answers phase and we connect all the dots around their health history and their symptoms and their lifestyle and their patterns. And then we do lab testing to confirm imbalances in the body systems. Then I can more precisely prescribe to someone, oh, maybe you should be doing this type of exercise, or maybe you need to be backing off on that type of exercise, because when you're doing, say, for example, CrossFit or high intensity interval training, you're actually going to cause more damage to your adrenals than improving them. Okay, so that's it's number one. I'm not big on just here, do this and do that. So as you're listening to that, it's more for information and educational purposes. If you really want to get clear on where your body systems are at and what type of exercising you should or shouldn't be doing, then book in for a consult and we can get really clear data around what your body is actually able to tolerate at the moment. Alrighty, so I want to talk about a few body systems. So the first one is around your hormones, so specifically your sex hormones. So that's like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, and also your adrenal stress hormones. Now, if you're in early stages of adrenal fatigue, so that's where stress hormones are becoming imbalanced, adding in exercise is actually really beneficial, and it helps to burn off excess cortisol and stress. So that might even be like if you're just like really stressed, maybe you don't even have adrenal issues, you're going to get benefit from just like burning off that excess stress through any type of exercise. And I find like especially aerobic type exercise that gets your heart pumping, getting huffy puffy, like brisk walks, jogs, swims, bike rides, or, you know, a gym class that's suitable for you. If, however, you have adrenal stress hormone issues and you're in later stages of adrenal fatigue, so that's where your stress hormones are really depleted, and or you have sex hormones that are also really depleted, it's really common to see low estrogen in particular, really low when there's a lot of stress, especially in women. Adding in huffy puffy exercise would be an extra stressor on your already depleted hormones. So in this case, like if you're showing up with signs of adrenal fatigue, later stages, sex hormone issues, you'd actually want to back off on the type of exercise that you're doing, or switch to like some really gentle, low intensity exercises like again, like walking, a slow swim, yoga, stretching. And usually with clients who are in this camp, over the months of their body getting healthier, more rebalanced, more resilient, energy levels are improving, that's where the exercise intensity can increase as well. I remember I had a client going back a few years who was doing 12 exercise sessions a week. I'm not kidding. So many exercises. She was eating really low calorie, really strict keto, and she did it solely because she was trying to lose weight. And the crazy thing was she was actually putting on weight. And not to mention she was also super fatigued and anxious and kind of like menopausal. And sure enough, when we did her lab test, she was in later stages of adrenal fatigue. And part of the treatment was like, all right, you really like just trust me, you're not going to put on more weight by reducing exercise. It was really scary for her, but as we actually decreased the intense exercise, started just doing more sort of like flowful yoga type, stretching type movements, as we supported her adrenals and actually got her to eat more, she actually started feeling better, more energy, more calm inside herself. And guess what? She started losing weight. So that was pretty cool. All right, the brain is another body system that I think about when it comes to exercise. So it's actually common knowledge that physical movement can lift mood. There's heaps of research studies around it. Heaps of like people can just say, oh yeah, I feel so much better when I do exercise. I remember we actually had a couple of clients who said exercise actually worked even better than an antidepressant. So I am all for that. Like, go to town with exercise for mental health. However, what I find is that sometimes people can tip a bit too far with exercise and it becomes an addiction. So they obsessively need to go to the gym, or they obsessively need to go on their runs. And if you've got neurotransmitters that are depleted, or even in this obsessive nature of exercising, you can actually deplete neurotransmitters like adrenaline and dopamine, who love that sort of like intense kind of like activity, or that like even feel good activity. So the more that you actually over exercise, the further you can reduce your brain chemicals. And so it's really important to get clear on like where your neurotransmitters are actually at, especially if you are a bit more of an avid exerciser. Is this actually healthy and healing for you, or is it actually causing more of an issue? Okay, third body system is the mitochondria. So the mitochondria are little organelles that live in your muscle tissue. They convert food into energy, and they are literally stimulated when you oxygenate your body and put oxygen into your muscle tissue through exercise. So exercise is so important, and movement is so important for the health of your mitochondria and to get them producing ATP energy. However, if you have mitochondrial issues, so that might be the mitochondrial little cells are actually damaged, exercise can actually do more damage than good, because when you exercise, you actually spit out free radicals or like little spurts of inflammation, and it's nice and healthy and normal if you have a good amount of antioxidants in your body, which often isn't the case when you have mitochondrial issues. But if you do, it comes up and mops free radical damage after exercise, and that allows your muscle tissue to grow stronger, for your fitness to get fitter. So what will happen if there's mitochondrial issues, not enough antioxidants, those free radicals produced during exercise can actually turn back in onto the mitochondria and do further damage to them, which can cause further fatigue, achy body, and also weight gain, which is just kind of crazy because most people are using exercise to manage or lose weight and to have more energy and to feel better in their body. So if someone, when I have a client in a connect the dots initial consult and they have energy issues, one really key question that I always ask is, do you feel worse after exercise? Do you feel more fatigued and depleted, or even moody after exercise? And if they say yes, then it's highly likely that they have mitochondrial issues. And I have seen that in many clients too, where it's literally just a walk around the block, waste them. It's you'll probably have some mitochondrial issues, but again, let's not guess. Let's actually do some tests and see. If there are mitochondrial issues though, you still need to move. Again, mitochondria is stimulated through oxygen and aerobic exercise. So if there are mitochondrial issues, I'm still always recommending you got to do some sort of movement, but just do whatever you can that doesn't leave you feeling wasted after the session, at all. You want to do the lowest intensity possible that, just feels quite easy for you. And then over time, as your energy levels increase, then so too does, as the energy levels increase, as the mitochondria are working better, then you can increase the exercise. And we actually had a client, this is actually back when we had a gym, and I was doing functional medicine with her. Chris was doing personal training, and she was stuck in this vicious crash burn cycle. So every time she'd have a bit of burst of energy, she would go and do some exercise, but then it would waste her for the rest of the day. She was even like that, if there was a little bit of extra stuff in her bucket at work that day or in her life, wasted the next few days. And so she just loved how she felt when she exercised, but she couldn't get into a proper routine because it just kept smashing her. And so as Chris worked with her using graded exercise therapy and even breath work to really just help restore really gently and safely her mitochondria. And we use that in our ending body burnout method as well. While we also supported her mitochondria with targeted supplements and mindset and all the other stuff that makes healing possible. And so over time, it was really cool. Didn't happen straight away. It was a slow process, but over the course of 12 months, she was back exercising, playing tennis, going on hikes, joining, doing more intense gym work. And she wasn't crashing, which was just life-changing for her. Okay. Got two more body systems. So first one, before I go to the last one, is the gastrointestinal system. So if the earlier body systems are burnt out, like the adrenals, sex hormones, brain, it's highly likely that you then have gut issues, because stress impacts the gut big time. So usually my general prescription when it comes to exercise for people with gut issues, it's often connected back to, well, what's your neuroendocrine system doing? What's your stress hormones, your brain, your mitochondria doing? Let's guide exercise to help heal those areas and then reduce stress, which will then help the gut. Because cortisol and stress will literally eat away at the gut lining. It's very catabolic and inflammatory. And it also just shuts down your digestive tract. So you may need to back off on intense exercise if there's adrenal issues to then repair the gut, because you're repairing the adrenals first, if that makes sense. When I think about exercise too, exercise isn't just about aerobic stuff or anaerobic or strength building. It's also just the way that your body and even like your organs are moving. So I like to think of exercise too in terms of restorative movement. And if there's gut issues, there are many different movement techniques that you can use for your body to help stimulate your digestion and to stimulate your motility, so your ability to move food from one end to the other. Like that could be as simple as jumping on a trampoline, especially like with people who are constipated or really struggling with like moving food from one end to the other. There's also like special diaphragmatic breathing techniques that you can use to stimulate and massage the colon. We go over like a range of different movement exercises for gut health in our Ending Body Burnout method. All right. Next one, last one is detoxification system. So when we do functional lab tests, we can clearly see where your detox pathways are at, and we look at that via nutrients. So there's some really important nutrients that support the liver and detoxification. And if they're really deficient, then your ability to detoxify is compromised. So if you've got some really specific nutrients that are depleted, it can be really hard to repair after exercise. Like again, as I was talking about, like when you exercise, you spit off inflammation-free radicals, you have different nutrients that come and mop up all of those. All of those are actually really important for the detox pathways. So if they're really depleted, then again, you'd want to back off on intense exercise until those stores can be rebuilt. Otherwise, you can just get stuck causing more inflammation in your body, leading to more muscle damage, inflammation, injuries, putting more stress on your hormones, your brain, and like everything just becomes this vicious, nasty cycle. Just like the gut though, it's not just about like, huffy puffy, moving your limb exercise. When I think about your detox pathways, it is movement. Like you need to make sure you can move toxins and excess hormones through your body and eliminate them out through your poo, your wee, your spit. So you can use restorative movement to make sure that those pathways are working properly. Some things that I usually recommend are lots of water to flush out toxins and excess hormones. Getting sweaty, so whether that's like with saunas or hot Epsom salt baths, or if you're at the capacity being like exercising where you are sweating, or even things like hot cold shower therapy can help stimulate detoxification. Alrighty, so if you want to start your 2023 health goals, like especially if you have a goal around health or fitness or whatever it is, and you don't want a cookie cutter approach anymore, and you want something that's really personalized and individualized to what your body needs in order to heal and become super healthy, then I would love to catch up with you for a Connect the Dots initial consult. So during that 90-minute consult, we would go over all of your health history, your current health symptoms, stuff that has happened in the past, right back until you were a kid, looking at your nutrition, your lifestyle, your sleep patterns, and even your thought and behavioral patterns that can impact the health of your body. And at the end of that, I then prescribe lab testing that makes most sense for you and for what's going on, so that we can stop guessing and actually get some answers, some concrete answers that can then dictate how, the best plan forward in terms of not just exercise, but everything. If you're not quite ready for that and you'd like a little bit more information, we do also have a gut and hormonal burnout mini course. So I'll pop the links for both of those below this video. And yeah, that's a great mini course that goes over different types of testing and different body systems that we test, and also gives you an insight into how we go about treating body burnout. Alrighty, so just before I sign off, if this post has triggered you, so especially if you're like an avid exerciser where you're just like, I can't live without exercise, and you're too scared or nervous or attached to change up your current exercise regime, or even like consider that might be a possibility, then stay tuned for next week's blog post and video, because I will go into how you can shift your mindset to do what you need to do in order to heal. And that also might mean shifting your mindset around the type of exercise that you do. Alrighty, so thank you so much. happy 2023, and yeah, move your body. Like, just still move your body. I'm not against moving your body, but again, just wanting to make sure that we're doing what your body needs in order to heal, become healthy, and to thrive long term. All right. Thank you.